Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. I'm Mehrad, and I'm super excited to be back with another video. If you're into mythology, this video is definitely going to be one of the most fascinating and memorable pieces of content you've come across. In this episode of Puzzle Fact, we're diving into one of the most important mythical creatures of ancient Iran, one that many of us might not be fully aware of its role in ancient Iranian history. That we'll start with an introduction and then move on to the more exciting parts of the story. So make sure to stick around, because this is deeply rooted in Iran's history. Deep in the heart of ancient Iran, among towering mountains and vast blue skies, lived a legendary and powerful creature known as the Simurgh. A being with an astonishing appearance, the Simurgh holds an unparalleled place not only in Iranian mythology, but in the heart of every culture that has sought truth and wisdom. The Simurgh is a bird with the tail of a peacock, the body of an eagle, and the claws of a lion, symbols of power, knowledge, and a protector of heroes. The Simurgh was not just a mythical creature. Among the people of ancient Iran, it was a symbol of strength and wisdom. Ancient sages believed this being lived not only in the sky, but also in the heart of nature, hidden deep in the secrets of the world. The Simurgh was a creature that knew the hidden truth behind every phenomenon. Its nest was on the legendary Mount Kaf. It was wise and all-knowing, fully aware of the hidden mysteries of the world. In the Avesta, the sacred text of Zoroastrianism, the Simurgh is described as an angel of justice who resides in the vast sea of Rukisha on a tree called Vispabish, meaning the healer of all. This tree is actually the tree of Tuba. The Avesta mentions that all healing plants and the seeds of all plants are placed in Vispabish. The philosopher Shahab al-Din Shirawardi writes in his book, The Red Wisdom, that the tree of Tuba is a colossal tree in paradise, and every fruit and blessing you see in the world is found on this tree. The Simurgh's nest rests on Tuba. An ancient astronomy book, Tankalusha, which is based on Sasanian star charts and has an Arabic translation, also refers to Vispabish as Tuba, and it echoes the same description as found in the Avesta about this tree. The Simurgh was the first bird created, with wings so vast that they resembled the clouds stretching over mountains, and its flight would cover the width of entire mountains. In Zoroastrian literature, the Simurgh is a powerful, large bird with vast wings, and it is said to have a human-like body. The most significant appearance of the Simurgh is found in the story of Zal. But let's get to the main part of the story of the Simurgh in the Shahnameh. The Shahnameh by Ferdowsi is a national epic in Persian, telling the mythical and heroic history of ancient Iran in verse. In the Shahnameh, the great poet Ferdowsi recounts how Sam, the renowned hero of Iran, longed for a son. He prayed to the god, asking him to grant him a son to inherit his courage and name. Eventually, his wife became pregnant and gave birth to a son, but this child was very different from other babies. His hair was white from birth, as though he carried the burden of old age from the very start of his life. Sam, stunned and fearful upon seeing this newborn, took it as a sign of misfortune and the god's anger. The elders in the court also frightened him, saying that having a child with such an unusual appearance could bring misfortune to his family. With a heart full of sorrow and doubt, yet caught in the beliefs of his time, Sam ordered that the child be taken to Mount Alborz and abandoned there to find his fate once again. The defenseless infant was left alone among the rocks and cold snow of the Alborz Mountains, but fate had something else in store for him. In that very mountain, the nest of the Simurgh, the legendary and wise bird, was located. The Simurgh, soaring across the skies, spotted the crying infant with her keen eyes. She felt pity for him and, with a motherly affection, carried him back to her nest, where she nurtured him alongside her own chicks. The Simurgh raised him, teaching him how to be strong and wise, protecting him as if he were her own. Years passed, and Zal grew up under the care of the Simurgh. He became tall, strong, and wise, but during this time, Sam began to regret his actions. He had dreams that promised the survival of his abandoned child in the Alborz Mountains. Eventually, unable to bear it any longer, Sam traveled to the Alborz Mountains. To his astonishment, he found a young, capable man living among the mountains. Sam realized that this was the son he had once abandoned. Although Zal had experienced the nurturing love of the Simurgh, his heart fluttered when he saw his father. The Simurgh, understanding the bond between father and son, handed Zal over to Sam. But before they parted, the Simurgh gave Zal a few of her feathers and said, "Whenever you face hardship, burn this feather in the fire, and I will come to your aid." This eternal bond between Zal and the Simurgh marked the beginning of many stories that would play a key role in the fate of Zal's son, Rostam. The first time Zal used one of these feathers was on a dark night, but Zal's heart was even darker than that night. Rautabeh, Zal's wife, was suffering in bed, her cries echoing through the entire palace, and no doctor, magician, or healer could find a cure. Rostam, the hero whose fate had been chosen for greatness, had not yet been born, but his arrival came with a heavy price. Zal, helpless and restless, walked through the palace. Suddenly, his hand touched a pouch that he had carefully kept for many years. Inside was a feather from the Simurgh, a gift the mysterious and mythical bird had given him during their farewell. Zal closed his eyes, surrendered to fate, and threw the feather into the fire. Moments later, the sky trembled, a fierce wind arose, and a massive shadow emerged from the darkness. The Simurgh, with wings as vast as the mountains, landed before Zal. Her eyes were filled with wisdom, and with a voice that seemed to come from the depths of history, she said, "I know the pain you're in, but the solution is difficult." The mythical bird touched Rautabeh's chest with her beak. Her breathing slowed. Then, turning to Zal, the Simurgh said, "Take the sword, but not in anger. Take it with wisdom. The path I'm telling you is bitter, but what choice do you have? It's the only way." The Simurgh ordered that Rautabeh's side be cut open with a sharp dagger, and the child be taken out. Rostam emerged from his mother's side. The Simurgh then treated Rautabeh with medicinal herbs, and this might be the earliest instance of a caesarean section in ancient literature, done with the help of the Simurgh. The next time the Simurgh came to the aid of the heroes of Iran was in a fateful battle. The sky was dark, the ground soaked in blood. Rostam, the hero of Iran, was lying on the ground, his wounds deep, and Raksh, his loyal horse and companion, was weak, groaning beside him. He had just fought a fierce battle with Esfandiar, the invincible prince, but no blow had affected this indestructible prince. How could he be defeated? How could they escape this tragic fate? Zal once again remembered his last hope. With trembling hands, he took the ancient feather from his garments. The feather still smelled of legend, of the Alborz mountains, of a fate that was yet to unfold. Without hesitation, he threw it into the fire. The Simurgh descended from the sky, her wings covering the sun. Zal asked, "Tell me, how can I defeat this enemy?" The Simurgh locked her gaze with Zal, her eyes full of the wisdom she carried for thousands of years. "Listen, Zal," she said, "Esfandiar has been bathed in the waters of life. He became invincible, indestructible, but when he was bathed, he closed his eyes. Now, those very eyes will be his undoing. Go to the mountain where a sturdy tree grows. Cut off a strong branch from it, and make a double-headed arrow, not one-headed. If both heads of the arrow go into his eyes, his fate will be sealed. Rostam must strike from a distance, in the moment Esfandiar least expects it. But know this, Zal, Esfandiar's mother has a silent yet powerful curse. Anyone who kills Esfandiar will lose their dearest ones." Later, Rostam responded, "Now that my dearest ones are on the verge of death, what's the use of fearing a curse? There's no choice. I accept my fate." And so it was that Rostam, with hands that wrote his destiny, cut a branch from a tree, fashioned a double-headed arrow, poisoned it, and on the second day, when the sun flickered in the sky, he released the arrow. The air stood still, the earth held its breath, and the arrow struck Esfandiar's eyes. And with it, the same arrow, the same fate, wrote the sentence of death of the invincible prince. This might be the last prominent appearance of the Simurgh in the Shahnameh. In the Shahnameh, the Simurgh never dies, and there is no mention of its death. After helping Rostam in the battle with Esfandiar, the Simurgh does not appear in Ferdowsi's epic again. However, this does not mean its death. The Simurgh is an immortal and mythical being that plays its role in crucial moments, and then returns to its mysterious world, which is likely Mount Kaf. That being said, in some stories outside of the Shahnameh, it is said that with the death of Zal, the Simurgh dies or disappears forever. But Ferdowsi never recounts its death, and perhaps this mystery has made it even more legendary and enigmatic. Although in the Shahnameh, the Simurgh is depicted as a material being, it has supernatural traits. Its connection with this world is only through Zal, and it's more akin to one of the Amshaspan's divinities or angels, whose occasional interactions with this world don't necessarily imply their belonging to the material realm. During the Sassanid period, the Simurgh became a prominent symbol in the art and culture of Iran. Decorations on vessels, cups, and other artistic works serve as evidence of the Simurgh's high status during that time. The Simurgh also had a significant presence in religious and royal arts. However, the Simurgh wasn't only present in the battles of the Shahnameh. In ancient Zoroastrianism, the Simurgh held a very special position. In the Zoroastrian faith, the Simurgh was a symbol of purity and light. It was a being that descended from the sky to the earth and followed the laws of Ahura Mazda. In this belief, the Simurgh was recognized as a sacred being playing a role in preserving justice and celestial order. In these beliefs, the Simurgh not only symbolized knowledge and enlightenment, but also took on the role of guarding the higher realms. I hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of myths and ancient Iranian history. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the fascinating world of mythology.